Hello, beautiful soul family. Thank you so much for being here. So, today we are going to dive deep into your shadow self. I believe that without your shadow, there wouldn't be your beautiful light. It's all needed. Both parts of you are very important. So, I really hope that this message from your shadow, whatever you need to hear right now, it will empower you to see that your shadow is always guiding you towards your true, authentic self. So, what is this empowering message from your shadow self that you need to hear right now? So, as you can see, I have 3 piles for you to choose from. You can choose your pile based on the card or based on the crystal. Whatever is calling you, always trust your intuition. So pile 1 is going to be this purification, and your crystal is yellow. Pile 2 is going to be this beautiful card which says potential, and you have your blue crystal. And pile 3 is going to be adventures, and your purple crystal. So choose your pile, and I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1. I'm so happy to have you here today with me. So let's have a look what we have for you reading, pile 1. Empowering. What is this empowering message from your shadow? What do you need to know? So you chose this purification, and you chose your yellow crystal. So that already tells me a lot about you. You are definitely someone who is able to release, to let go so much, so many things, so many situations which you know that is not serving you. Your bright light, your inner light, is always gonna be your compass, is always gonna guide you to release, to let go. You truly stand out. You truly, your shadow, you should never be afraid of your shadow, because you are always being guided to let go of everything that is not for your highest good. And not everyone is brave to do that. So many of us would cling on the things, on the people, on situations. But you are so brave, pile 1. You would never let yourself be stuck in something that you know that it's just not serving you. So your inner light is always guiding you. And no matter what you go through, no matter how much the darkness could pull you backwards, your light will always empower you, because you always know how to heal these inner parts of you. You always know how to move, to keep moving forward. So never doubt your powerful, special, bright light, because it's always taking you where you have to be. So let's have a look at the rest of your cards. So we have a flow, the Wheel of Fortune. So you are someone who's definitely, you are very good in ending cycles, ending these cycles which are draining you, which are not serving you. You know that some things are just meant to end, and you always let the flow guide you. You're not afraid. The most powerful thing, what I see about your shadow pile one, that you're not afraid to dive deep into these darkest emotions. You could feel so much in so many depths that some of you might really have a tendency to really drown in your emotions when you really feel so much, so sudden. But you're not afraid to explore these darker emotions. You feel that these darker emotions are guiding you. They are always guiding you to see something important. So you gain so much wisdom, you gain so much inner control, inner power with these dark emotions. And you are definitely someone who is able to turn these darker emotions into something very positive. It's like you are like this beautiful wheel of fortune. You know how to always attract good fortune towards you, because no matter what, you always go back to the flow of life. You naturally know how to end these cycles. I don't want to call them negative, because it's all needed, it's all part of us. But there is something so special about your shadow, that no matter how dark it gets, no matter how overwhelmed you feel, no matter how scary everything would feel for you, you just not afraid to face these emotions, and you just know where you need to go next. So the flow is something so natural to you. You always go with the flow. You always trust that inner guidance. And I believe that's why you chose this yellow crystal. There is this quiet, I call that quiet confidence, quiet belief in you, about yourself. You know how to tap in and just believe in yourself, believe where your feelings are guiding you. And like I said, no matter how dark it gets, no matter how scary it would feel, how intense. I really see that some of you who chose the spiral, you could be a very intense soul. You feel everything very deeply, and these emotions only empower you. They only guide you towards your fullest potential, because you always know. You always know what do you learn from that. You always know what is next, because you trust your inner guidance. So you are someone who's so powerful. You always know how to release, how to let go, how to cleanse. You might have some water placements like Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You don't have to be, but your emotions are very powerful. They are your compass. They are your guidance. You always know how to get out of this stagnant energy, how to come back. You always know how to come back to that flow of life. And that is so, so special about you. You should never be afraid of how you might feel, because you always know what to do. So your next card, we have a mirror. What is triggering you? Again, we have this card full of water. You're surrounded by so much water. So it's just another confirmation from spirit that you always face yourself. You always face those uncomfortable, intense, overwhelming feelings. So self-reflection is something that is your best friend. You always go into deep self-reflection, and you always know that your shadow always knows that whenever you feel not at your best, whenever you feel at your worst, you just know that self-care, self-love routine is all you need. You're not afraid to go slowly, to take your time. And that is something that you should be proud of yourself, because you know how to push yourself, how to encourage yourself to really look deep into your soul. So whenever you see that you would even attract people with a bad, well, I don't want to call that bad, but bad energy. I just believe that everything is needed, all energy is needed. So I just want to say that maybe you attract people who are not feeling in their best as well. So they could be like the mirror, and you always know that whenever these things happen with people, maybe that day it's important for you to go back to your beautiful, high, positive energy, because I believe that's why we attract people sometimes, like the mirror, to show us what do we need to heal, what do we need to work on. And the most powerful thing about you, about your shadow, pile one, it is a fact that your soul always knows how to create that peace of mind, how to always go back to that peaceful, harmonious energy. To me, feathers, especially white feathers, they do represent this very harmonious, light, peaceful energy. So you are definitely someone who is able to release, let go everything. You're always ready to let go of anything that is just not aligned with your beautiful light. Your beautiful light is your strength. You truly stand out. You truly I believe that you could even attract people who need help, who need healing, because you are so powerful. You know how to heal yourself. You know how to push yourself, how to encourage yourself to go into that deep self-reflection. So no matter what, you always come back to your natural state of your being, which is that peaceful, calm, harmonious energy. And because you do, because your shadow self is always encouraging you to do that inner work, you attract so much good fortune. You become like a magnet to attract your good fortune. You are this wheel of fortune yourself. So with ending these painful cycles, these cycles which have to end, so you would enter the new cycle, which is your beauty, which is full of your beautiful light. And when you do that, that's when you go back to that beautiful flow of life, and you create this new fortune, new luck, new opportunities. So I really see that your shadow is very, very powerful, because it's always guiding you towards facing these uncomfortable feelings, facing these situations, people. And you always work on yourself. You always do that beautiful inner work. And you should always be proud of yourself. So without your shadow, you wouldn't really have this powerful, significant, magnetic, bright light. And people do notice you a lot. People see how well you do, even in your darkest times. So you should always be proud of who you are, because things will never get too much for you. Because what I really admire about your shadow, pile one, that you really are someone who's not afraid to go deep, to dive deep into these scariest, the most overwhelming feelings. And you always come back. You always come back being lighter, being even more full of harmony, full of peace. And that is very, very special, very unique. And remember, whenever you really are feeling in your worst, always remind yourself that you can take your time. All you have to do is just be gentle with yourself. Nurture your emotions, these uncomfortable emotions. Make sure that you do look after yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself plenty of time, plenty of love, plenty of support. Support yourself just like you would support your best friend. And you will always win. You will always be victorious. You will always learn something new. And you should really be proud of who you are, because there is so much that you already healed within you. There is so much that you already learned. And you are becoming such a wise soul. So you use this wisdom to empower yourself. And remember who you truly are. You are this beautiful light. No matter what happens in your life, no matter what you go through, you always come back stronger. You always come back shining even more with so much pure light. So that was your reading, pile one. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile two. Thank you so much for being here. So you chose this beautiful card which says potential and your blue crystal. So what I sense about you, pile one, that you might not be even aware how powerful your shadow is. There is so much your soul is calling you to create out of the darkness. There is so much potential in your shadow self, because whenever you experience these very challenging, difficult times, when you really feel that the darkness is pulling you, you are someone who is really able to create, to find your inner truth. You are always being guided to find your inner truth, and that inner truth empowers you to use your fullest potential in this lifetime. Your shadow is only guiding you towards your fullest potential. I can sense that many of you who chose this pile, you are very creative. You truly create so much out of the darkness. You use this darkness whenever you feel not at your best at all. You use that as to create something very beautiful, something very unique. And I really sense that there is so much untapped potential within you, and you tap in, you connect to that, whatever you feel you want to create. When you really feel the darkness, when you are in your shadow, when you can't see your light. And that's why maybe some of you really have, it's important for you to go through these periods in your life where you are maybe feeling at your worst, maybe where you are not feeling alive, where you are not feeling good at all, but you are always feeling this strong power within you, that strong power guiding you towards creating something special, something very unique, something that you know that you created this out of the darkness, and it really empowers you. So there is so much potential within your shadow, something that you really are being guided to create. So just know that whenever you are feeling really in your worst, when you just don't know how to come back to your beautiful light, remember that you're only being guided to use this to create something special. So just take your time, tap into these feelings, whatever you feel, and it will always guide you. You will always be guided towards creation. Remember, you are full of unlimited potential. Your soul is always guiding you to create. Okay, so Let's have a look at the rest of your cards. So we have a star seed. What lights you up? So with the next card, I can really sense that your shadow is always guiding you to ask these questions. Whenever you feel in your lowest, you're always being guided to ask yourself, what is making me happy? What could lift me up? You are the star seed. If you are familiar with the star seed, you are this beautiful old soul, and you feel everything deeply. You cannot resonate with the small talk. You cannot resonate with things which are not meaningful for you. So you really are someone who wants to live a very meaningful life. And maybe when things are boring, when you feel that you are stuck in the same routine, maybe that's when you start to feel this shadow coming at you, and that's when you start to feel these uncomfortable feelings. But your emotions are always guiding you. They're always guiding you to ask yourself, what can I change? What is truly making me happy? Maybe there is something what you could start, something new. So you have very powerful, deep emotions. Many of you who chose this pile, you're very creative. So your creativity is your compass. Your passionate feelings are always guiding you. So what is making you feel passionate about life? Always come back to that question whenever you really feel that your life is becoming boring. And your next card, we have trust, the Fool. So you're definitely, your shadow self is always guiding you towards the new beginning. It's always guiding you to embark on the new journey. You are very connected. You're very connected to the universe. You're very connected to something, to those energies which people, maybe they don't feel it, things they don't see it, but there's something what you always can sense. You can sense things which are hidden, and you should always trust your intuition, because in those darker times when you're not feeling in your best at all, you are still being guided. You still feel this inner guidance. I really see that many of you who chose this pile, you are very intuitive. You're very psychic, and that is so clear with the last card, which says animals. So you're very intuitive. You know why your shadow is very powerful? Because at the times when you might feel lonely, when you might feel that you're so alone and maybe nobody understands you, at the same time, you feel this inner guidance. And this inner guidance, it is to do with your ancestors, with your spirit guides. You know that you are never alone. You feel that guidance from the spirit. And you know your shadow is very powerful, because no matter what you go through, you always feel that you're being guided to keep moving. You see how these animals are guiding her to keep moving, to keep walking. Leave all the fears, leave everything behind, and keep moving towards something that is very meaningful for you. So I really sense that for you, for those who chose the spiral, you're very talented, you're very gifted. And for some of you, it has to do with something very creative. Like there is something what is so meaningful for you. The most important thing that I want to mention, that the Fool is always following their hearts, their soul's calling. So you are definitely someone who's following your heart, your soul, and you do things from your heart. So whatever is meaningful for you, that is always reminding you to keep moving, to keep creating, to keep doing things which make you feel passionate, make you feel alive. So you are surrounded by so many spirit guides. You're very protected, you're very guided, your psychic senses are so heightened. And do not be afraid of this hermit mode, the time when you have to spend, when you feel a call to spend this time alone. Because when you spend this time alone, you know that your deep intuitive feelings will always guide you towards your next movement, next action, whatever you will know that this is what I have to do next. So I really sense that for those who chose the spiral, you have gone through so many different endings, new beginnings. Your life is always moving in that direction where you are always like a fool. You are always not afraid. You're not afraid at all to start from zero, to start from scratch. You are always trusting the universe. You know how to trust the universe. And that is so powerful because not everyone can do that. Your soul is always calling you towards this new beginning. So your shadow is always guiding you towards these new beginnings, towards finding whatever feels missing for you. So just know that you're very protected. You're very guided. You always have this feeling that I have to keep moving forward, to keep moving towards my brightest future. So your intuitive feelings are always guiding you to face these things, these emotions, whatever is pulling you away from your beautiful light. So when you feel in your darkness, when you are experiencing your shadow, at the same time, I really sense that you don't stay long there at all, because you trust your inner guidance. Your inner guidance is very powerful, and you have this very special connection to unseen, to the things which people cannot see, but you see it, you know it, because you're very deep old soul who's so connected to your psychic senses. And always remember that trusting the universe, trusting your inner guidance is your biggest strength. So always trust these whispers of your soul, and you will always be guided towards this new beginning which will make you feel alive, which will make you feel fulfilled, satisfied. So the most important thing, the most important truth about your shadow is the fact that you always search for inner truth. And because you do, you always find, you seek and you find your inner truth. And your inner truth always empowers you, always making you feel stronger, wiser. And inner truth is very important to you. So always trust what you know. Always trust these intuitive feelings, because you're very connected to what is not seen. So that was your reading, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. So you chose this beautiful card which says adventures, and this beautiful crystal, purple crystal. So what I already sense about your shadow, pile 3, that you're very connected to your higher self. You know how to connect to your higher consciousness. You know, and that higher consciousness, that ability to connect to all that is. Your crown chakra is very active. And because you have that special connection to all that is, you are someone who's able to really release, let go of anything that is stagnant, anything that is not aligned with your true, authentic self. So you're definitely someone who's able to face your shadow whenever things are not moving, whenever you feel not good, not great at all. You always know how to come back to the flow of life, how to find the new adventure in your life. You know how to cleanse, how to invite this fresh new energy into your life, because you are able to connect. You always know how to connect to all that is, and that is this present moment, the present, only in the present moment, by when they are fully connected to the present moment, when they let go, when they empty our mind. In that present moment, we find something new. We find the cure. We find the fresh new energy. So I really feel that your shadow self is always guiding you towards new adventures, towards filling your own cup and inviting that fresh new energy into your life. So there's nothing that you cannot overcome, because you always are someone who is freeing yourself from everything that is not for your highest good. So let's see what we have for you for the rest of your cards. Wow, so your next card, we have the initiation. No matter what, you follow your heart. You follow that. You know that you have this divine love inside of you. And look how dark it is in this card. And it just tells me that you are someone who is able to really let go of your fears, to face your fears. So if you are afraid of unknown, you are able to connect to that beautiful light inside of you, and you connect to your higher consciousness, and you do understand that the fear is only the illusion. So you're a very brave soul, because no matter what happens in your life, you are always becoming stronger, much, much stronger. You are being guided to be initiative, and you keep moving, no matter how scary it looks, how uncomfortable it would feel. But you always encourage yourself to keep moving towards your beautiful light. So there's nothing that you cannot, there's no fears that you cannot overcome. You always face so there is something so special about you, Pile of Three, that your shadow is always guiding you to be initiative, to take the leap of faith, to take more risks in your life. And there is so much victory that awaits for you, so much success, so much fulfillment. And by doing that, by pushing yourself through fear, you always awaken that higher consciousness within you, and that allows you to reach for new insights, new wisdom, new opportunities. And so you are someone who is able to push through fear so well, and you always find yourself in the new beginning. So we have the Empress over here. I really sense that your shadow self is always guiding you towards loving yourself first, giving all that love. Your shadow self is always guiding you towards nurturing yourself. So the Empress is all about you receiving that love, which is always there within you. So you perfectly know how to nurture yourself, how to give all that you need. And there is always this new beginning that enters your life, because, like I say, you are very powerful to remove this stagnant energy, to get out of the stagnant energy. If you are being caught up in some type of illusion, which could be the fear, any limiting belief about yourself, you are able to face that. You're able to really encourage yourself. But you do that very gently by giving yourself all that you need. So self-love is something that is always helping you, is always guiding you. You are the Empress, so you are someone who really knows how to fill your own cup. And because you do nurture, you do look after yourself, you fill your own cup, no matter how hard sometimes it is. You always attract these new adventures, new beginnings into your life. So there's nothing, I really feel how powerful you are, pile 3, because there's nothing that you cannot overcome, because you're always being guided. You always push through fear. You always keep moving. And you know that sometimes our own mind could be very, very dark. And that's just an illusion. Some of our thoughts could be so limiting, so dark. But that's not our true authentic self. So you are able to really see through illusion. And when you really do that, when you do look after yourself, whenever you fill your own cup, whenever you go maybe into the nature, maybe you just do these your special care routines, it always makes you feel so powerful. It always awakens your inner truth. And then you know that the fear is just illusion. So I really admire your strength, your wisdom, your higher consciousness. And your last card, we have healing. So it really tells me that your shadow is very powerful, because it's always guiding you to heal these inner parts of you, which you know that you really have to heal. Maybe some of you have maybe some of you struggle to really be in the present moment. Maybe you really caught up, maybe you catch yourself being too much in the past and too much thinking about the future. But these self-care routines, self-love routines, whenever you go to the nature, whenever you meditate, whenever you really connect to the stillness, you know that only in the present moment you can fully heal. So in the present moment you can really heal these parts of you. So you are a very powerful healer, pile 3. There's nothing that you cannot heal. You healed already so much within you, and you should really be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, because your shadow self is always guiding you towards healing, towards facing these uncomfortable things. So you're very, very powerful, because no matter what happens in your life, you always push through fear. You always encourage yourself to keep moving towards your light. And by doing that, you always awaken your higher consciousness. You always connect to this divine love, which is always there within you. And you understand that you are one. You are one with the whole universe. You're not separate. So there is so many truths, inner truths, so much wisdom, so much inner guidance, which you discover whenever you push through fear, push through illusion, whenever you face yourself. It's very uncomfortable to face yourself when we really are feeling that our shadow, it becomes so strong, so dark. But this is your inner strength, because you can heal everything. And you should be proud of yourself, pile 3. You should really be proud of yourself, because You are just like a bird. Your soul desires freedom, freeing yourself from everything that is not for your highest good. So you always know how to attract new opportunities into your life. You always are willing to go on a new adventure, and you are full of this inner strength, inner motivation, and I really see that you are always being guided to find a new adventure in your life, to find your true authentic self, which is always there within you. Remember, you are the Empress, and you know how to give everything to yourself. You know how to make yourself happy. And I really see that the most important thing for you is that your shadow is always guiding you towards your happiness, towards connecting, going back to that present moment. And when we are in a present moment, we always know that in the present moment, we will always be able to find happiness. Sometimes it might take time, but you know how to nurture yourself. You know how to look after yourself. And that is so, so special about you. So that was your reading, pile 3. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all the best. Take care. Bye-bye.